Hi everybody, it's April. I'm going to share with you today on how I created this card for my husband for Father's Day. And I'm using the two main images in the stamp set, the bears. This is all the background stuff and little special scene setting features in the stamp set. It is by Fawn called Dad and Me. Really adorable. You could really dress it up and add glasses, little mustaches. There's a moose and a baby moose, and there's a bear and a baby bear. So this is a set I'm going to use. Stay tuned if you'd like to see how I made this, and I'm also going to throw in a bonus card today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye! Hi everybody, thanks so much for sticking around. I went ahead and stamped the bears in My Favorite Things black ink. I think it's a hybrid ink, so it's safe for Copic coloring. I'm using a variety of Copic browns, E11, 13, and 15 to shade the bears, and I'm trying to make the father bear a little bit darker than this baby boy bear. Now, if you had a card you're making for a father who has a little girl, then you could do these in maybe just some lighter shades, or you could even color her a pink bear if you'd like. I think on the stamp set there might be a little flower that you can also die cut it out, so even if you wanted to make them both brown bears, you could add like a little pink flower to the top of the baby bear's head. So you'll see I'm just going to leave a little bit of a highlight on the front of their faces. I don't really worry too much about the direction of sun when I'm doing coloring unless it's really obvious that I need to do that. So just disregard that. You just color however you want to color, you know. I just do it to where I feel like I like it. I try to usually just make the front legs look a little bit more forward and put highlights on any kind of critter's face, and that's really about it. So just using the Copics here to color the images up, and then I'm going to die cut them out. And I based this card on a card I showed you at the beginning of the video, and there was quite a few things that I couldn't remember, like what colors I used and how I made the background, so I am going to change it up a little bit, maybe a lot. And also, when I was going to stamp out some of the other images, I realized there was actually a cattail that you could use for the plant life. So you'll see there's going to be some extra things that I'm going to add to this card that wasn't on the card I showed you in the beginning. So I had die cut those out, and here I'm going to go and stamp. Now I wound up having to restamp this one of the mountains in the background because I stamped it wrong. I didn't put enough ink all the way to the top of the peaks. So here I'm just using some inks that I think might be what I used, different variety of some ink cubes that I have. That was a Simon Says Stamp blue ink. I used in My Favorite Things brown hot fudge on the mountains. And you see that little hat there. I had totally forgotten about his hat, so I'll Copic color that in off camera. I just used a variety of green Copic markers. So even here I didn't realize there was a cattail, so I just stamped out all these little plant life. I'm going to stamp out the sentiment, Happy Father's Day, in My Favorite Things, the black ink. So here you can see I went ahead and showed you I cut out those other pieces, and I had colored in that hat the Papa Bear is going to wear. So I found this, excuse me, kind of I guess it would be a post-it tape. I think I found these at Joann's, and so I'm using that to just, you know, kind of make a background on this one. I couldn't remember what I used on the other card. It was just a brown background. And so I'm just kind of recreating a different type of background, but with the same concept. Obviously that post-it note is laying on wet ink, so it slips. I get so frustrated with it. You'll see me fling it here in a second. I'm like, eh! So, yeah, there I just flung that little post-it note. So then what I did with the other background, what I was trying to recreate at least a little bit of resemblance, was the pearlescence to it. So I found my pigment pearls just in a little mini mister and sprayed it, so it's really, really pearlized when you look up close. You can go on Instagram and see a close-up of this card if you want. I'm under the same name. So I have all my pieces here ready to go. And another thing I had forgotten to stamp out were the little fish in the pond. So you can see my scene is a little bit different. Also, there was a little rocks that you could use, and so I used the rocks to cover up kind of where the stream meets the little puddle at the end where the fish are trying to swim upstream. So just laying everything out, getting my layout. I did take a photo of it and in case I needed that. Just gonna file down some little rough paper edges there, and I'll pop that sentiment up. I use the Happy Father's Day sentiment, and I'll pop that up on the front of the card. And let's see what else. Actually, another item that I added was a little dragonfly because I had so much big blue sky. I would have added clouds, but to be honest, I was just not willing to look for my cloud dies or any of that because my craft room is still in shambles. So, in fact, everything that I cut and colored all these images on was some card bases that I bought from Michael's or Joann's. So everything was cut out just using scraps of cardstock or like pre-folded card bases, because I can't find a lot of my stuff right now. It's still all kind of piled up and needs to be put back where they go. So there's that little rock I was talking about. It was a little fiddly. And I wound up getting that glue, that Tombow Mono glue, all over my fingers, all over the tweezers. So you'll see here in a minute, it's going to cut to me putting foam tape on the back of the bearers because I had actually stopped the camera to go wash my hands. I had so much glue everywhere. I really don't like working with that glue for a reason, but it is what it is. So popping these little guys up, I glued his hat on, got the little plant life I'm going to start adding to the scene. I think I already laid the dragonfly down. So, and also that little piece of foliage I put there kind of blocks the mountains in the background, so it kind of helps us bring us back to the front of the scene of the card where the bears are. So we're hoping that we're getting the impression that the mountains are in the distance. So anyhow, I'm just going to finish adding all these little details to the card, and then I'm going to pop this up, like really not pop it up, but I'm going to just use some foam and use that as a little cushion behind the whole scene because it was a watercolor. You know, it wasn't a watercolor cardstock, but it got wet when I sprayed it with the Perfect Pearls, so it's a little warped there. Now, I have no idea what that noise is in the background. Got a bunch of birds outside my window and a plane flying overhead, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. So I had an issue with any tape going onto this foam, and then my glue wouldn't work, so I wound up just using some score tape and put that on the front of the card. And that was it for this card, just a recreation, kind of a little different of what I made before. I hope that you like it and you'll try it if you have the stamp set. And so that's going to be the first card. And I'm going to stamp my little sentiment on the back like I always do. So maybe you can see a little bit there how pearlized it is. And here's a little bonus that I decided to do today. I'm using the Tim Holtz Crazy Dog set. And the reason that I decided to do this little bonus card was for anybody who wants to make a quick Father's Day card, maybe for your dad or your brother, and there's not really a child involved or what have you. And also if you don't have the Fawn set, I thought this is something you can pick up. Michael's carries it now. I found these at Hobby Lobby. But you can go to a store today, you know, and potentially go buy this set if you want to make this card. So I'm making it for my brother. It's in fact already gone out into the mail. So I apologize I don't have any still photos at the end of this video, but or on my Instagram of this card because I wanted to hurry up and get it out for my brother. But so yeah, that was the premise behind this card, just doing a little bonus one, and it's super fast, super easy to do. I decided to practice with my Prismacolor pencils again. This is probably the only second time I've ever used them. I did go and purchase some Gamasol. You'll see a little cup there. The lid's full of some Gamasol on the right-hand corner of my screen, top right-hand corner. So here I am going to go and use the Gamasol to blend all the pencil out. Just trying to keep a little depth, you know, under his ears. And this stamp is designed to kind of where it shows you where to put the shadows. So that made it really easy when I was going in with the pencils where to put the darker color. So just blending that all together and trying to get a smooth transition. I'll go in and touch up some spots and color his nose. Super funny looking dog. I love these little crazy dogs. I love all the crazy characters. They're so cute. But so yeah, so just coloring out his tongue, and yeah, that was a bright red. I really wasn't sure if I liked the red, but in the end I think it's okay. You'll see what I'll do to kind of tie the red in on the card. Coloring his dog collar blue. And then I'm going to go back and touch the eyelids and his eyeballs with a little touch of the black. I did add some white, of that white pencil to his actual eyeball. Yeah, there you go. And then I use it's not a jelly roll. I don't know what brand it is. I have this cheap kind of glitter pen. So it's just silver. I added that to his little dog charm on his collar. And again, touching up some spots. And I'll wind up coloring these bones all the wrong colors. So the one that I don't touch on the screen, I color 2 on the right, but there's one all the way to the left by the dog that was already colored kind of a light blue. That was the one I wound up using and die cutting out. So I'm going to cut all those out and use those as just the dog bone and the dog for the image on the card. So here you can see I'm using another card base because I can't find all my good stash. And I just cut out a card front using a Simon Says Stamp stitch square frame or rectangle, sorry. And this is where I decide what color do I want to use. I was going to stamp the bone just making a pattern paper. I was trying the black. Then I was like, oh no, let me use blue to bring in the collar. And I didn't like the blue. I don't have a dark blue that really matches the dog's collar. So then I was like, oh, let's bring in the red to match his tongue. So that's why I went with the red in the end. And so yeah, I'm just going to kind of stamp it in all different positions all over the background, making a pattern paper. Super simple, easy. You could do it with any of the images on the stamp set. You know, there's like a dog, like a ball and a bowl or something else on here that you could use. So I just thought, okay, you know, you'll see in the end, it's really, he has the one dog bone that's in front of him. And then I just thought it's like, oh, this is his Happy Father's Day present, is a whole bunch of dog bones. So that was kind of why I did the bones. So I'm going to just fiddle around, put some foam tape up on the dog, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment using the one from the Lawn Fawn stamp set I had to sit next to me, the Happy Father's Day. But if you have a stamp set, you know, obviously whatever you have in your stash that says Happy Father's Day would work. Or anything. If you want to just put hello or not put any sentiment, and then you could just handwrite Happy Father's Day on the inside of the card, in case you don't have anything and your supplies are limited. So anyhow, so I'm going to just put him on the card, or on the little circle that I cut out to see where I need to put the sentiment. And I'm going to pop him up in the bone. And I almost put the bone behind his butt. And I thought, oh, that looks a little weird. So I moved it to the front side. And then I'm just going to adhere everything together and put the card panel on my card front, stamp the back, and I'll be done. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, super simple. Maybe not the first card as much because there's more detailed work involved, but this one surely is a quick card to make, and you could probably get one done and in the mail today or tomorrow if you want to run out to one of your stores and pick up this one, the Crazy Dog set. I really appreciate you guys watching. I wish you all a very happy weekend and with your families, whoever you celebrate Father's Day with, be it your husbands, your sons, your brothers. Maybe you're a mom who does both jobs, and so I wish you a happy Father's Day. But I really do appreciate your time, taking your time to watch my channel and watch me make some cards. It really means a lot to me. So I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.